بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Today we are continuing from where we stopped yesterday, and we're looking at the Aqsam al-Kalam. We said the Aqsam al-Kalam is divided into three: Ism, Fa'l, wa Harf. And today we are looking at the last part, that is Harf. That is Harf. We have already looked at Ism and then Fa'l, and we're completing Harf. So Al-Harf, as we have looked at a few huruf in the previous lessons, a harf is basically the last part, which is not that broad. It's not that broad compared to the Ism and then the Fa'l. Okay, so we said harf is any word that has no meaning except in complete and useful sentence. Any word that has no meaning except in complete and useful sentence. So basically, that is their nature, and that is how they are being identified. We look at alamatul ism and then alamatul fa'l. Several ways to identify ism and then several ways to identify verbs. But as for huruf, the harf, they are basically, that's how they have been identified. They don't have any meaning unless they are in a sentence. For example, let me give you an example. If I say a book, we know what a book means. It has a meaning. For example, another one is, that's ism. A book is an ism, of course, a noun. Another one is, for example, a verb. If I say zahaba means he went, and it has a meaning. At least we know it gives us information. It has a meaning. Just that you may be asking who went, but not what does the word mean. But as for the word, it has a meaning. It means what he went. So that is the ism and then the fa'l. They have meaning on their own. Just that they may not be complete. But as for harf, it doesn't have just a meaning at all unless it is in a sentence. Example is, you can remember we learned huruf, harf al-jar or huruf al-jar. For example, if I say ila, it's an example of a harf al-jar, and basically it falls under harf. So ila, it has no meaning. Ila, two, it means two. So if you are sitting down and someone come and tell you two or ila, you will not understand what the person is trying to say. It has no meaning. So that is an example. And let me see. The last time we look at a lot of them here. Let me just bring it up and do a quick recap. They are here. And this is from the Quran. You can see here. You can remember we did min, then we did ila, then we did fi. All these are huruf al-jar, and they fall under harf. We'll look at several other huruf as we go further. But the basic one we did was the harf al-jar. And as I said, they have no meaning unless they are in a sentence. For example, min. If someone come and tell you min, you look at the person, you don't understand what the person is saying. So they have no meaning unless they are within a sentence. So min, fi, bi, an, ala, ila. All these are example of huruf. All these are example of what? Huruf. Okay. So let's continue. So you can see this example from the Quran. But immediately they are within a sentence, they will now begin to what? To make meaning. They will now begin to make meaning. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Okay. So let's look at here. This is sample from the Quran. These are just basic, some selected parts of the Quran, ayahs of the Quran that we are looking at. Okay. So we are going to look at something. We are just going to do a brief. We have learned ism, and then we learn fa'l, and then today we are just learning harf. So this is what we are we are trying to identify whether, for example, if I say Bismillah, Bismillah, you're trying to do some grammatical analysis from just what we have learned. Let's begin from here. Suratul Asr. Suratul Asr. You can see Suratul Asr. Suratul Asr, from what we have learned previously, this will be what? This will be what? Suratul Asr. This is, you can see Asr is having Kesra. So it is what? Mudof or Mudof ilay. Okay. So now if I say Bismillah, Bismillah is a sentence. I'm talking about just isolating this one, this part of the sentence here. Alone. If this is isolated alone, Bismillah, in the name of Allah, this will fall under what category or which category of sentence? You can remember we said we have three types of sentence: Jumla Ismiya, Jumla Fi'liya, and then Shubih Jumla. Let me try to break it more. This is simple Bismillah. So it is Bismillah. So you can see this, the bow is actually a half. It's actually what? A half. So as far as it is a half and it is starting the sentence, it means what? That sentence is which type of sentence? Which type of sentence? Shubih Jumla. Yes, Shubih Jumla. We can remember the last time we said a sentence starting with a half is what? Is Shubih Jumla. Okay. So Asr here is Wal Asr. Asr, I'm talking about Al Asr, is what? Which type of Aqsam al Kalam is it? Within Aqsam al Kalam, is it a noun? Is it a verb, or it is a harf? It is what? A harf, yes. No, it is not a harf. It is what? Yes, it is an ism. It is an ism. Why? Alif wal lam. You can remember when we're doing alamatul ism, we talk about alif wal lam. Okay, and it is also what? Jar, a majrur, having kesra on the last letter, you can see. Okay, so it is an ism. Insan, look at here. Insan is what? Insan is what? Yes, it is an ism. It is an ism. Why? Alif wal lam. It is having as alif wal lam. Insan. Okay. Now we'll have here Khusrin. Khusrin. You can say Khusrin is what? Khusrin is what? Is it a? Yes, it is a noun. It's an ism. Why? Because it is having tanwin. Yes, it is having tanwin. It's only now that can take tanwin. You can remember from the alamatul ism. Okay. Okay. Al-haq. Al-haq here. Al-haq. Al-haq is what? Yes. Okay, that's correct. It's an ism. It's having alif walam. It's having alif walam. Alif walam. So it is an ism. Yes. As-sabr. Bis-sabr. Bis-sabr. So it is actually al-sabr. As-sabr. And then they just attach the B. This B is a what? Is a harf jar. So they attach it to it, making it bis-sabr. So without the ba, just as-sabr is what? Yes, it's an ism. Yes. Why? Alif walam. And then is jar. Is having kes. Okay. So look at here. This is a verb. I'm saying this is a verse from Surah Yunus, I think so. So we have here, Ya Yuhannasu, Qad ja'atkum. Ja'atkum. Qad ja'atkum. So ja'a is what? Is it a verb or an ism or a harf? Yes, it's a verb. Huwa fi'lun. It is a It is a fi'l. Why? Because of the cut. We look at alamatul fi'l. We said the number one was what? Cut. Okay. So immediately you see cut, it only goes with verbs. So ja'a is what? Is verb. Ja'atkum. Maw-izatun here, maw-izatun is what? We are trying to identify based on the features we have learned. We are just identifying, is this a verb, an ism, or a harf? So maw-izatun will be what? Yes, an ism, a noun. It is an ism. Why? Ta marbuta. Yes, ta marbuta here. It is having ta marbuta. Definitely only ism take this ta marbuta. A verb doesn't take it. A harf doesn't take ta marbuta. Okay. Wa shifa'un. Shifa'un. Here, you can see shifa'un. Shifa'un is what? Shifa'un is, yes, it's an ism. Why? Because tanwin. You can see tanwin. Shifa'un. Yes, it's an ism. It's an ism. Okay, so see here. As-sudur. Fis-sudur. Lima fis-sudur. So as-sudur is what? It's an ism. Why? Because alif wa lam. Okay. Wa hudan. Hudan is an ism. Why? Tanwin. Yes, it's having tanwin here. Tanwin is what? Double vowel, double fatha, double kesra, or double dom. Okay. Wa rahmatun. Yes, tanwin, ta marbuta, and then tanwin also. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Okay. So inshallah, if there's no question, we'll stop here. Barakallahu feek wa jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.